3 weeks since the release of FC26 Ultimate Team, and now we know the patterns of this market. Which days do we want to sell? Which days do we want to buy? Which day should you play FUT Champs, or in my case, with my new account, which days should I absolutely tear up these players in FC Challengers? Why am I in this division? I'm absolutely clowning on these kids right now. But today, I'm going to go through every single day of the week and show you guys what you need to be looking for as an investment on those days, and which day do you want to sell those investments. There's something for every single day. So no matter what day of the week you're on, you can be making coins from now on till the very end of FC26 Ultimate Team. So if you're excited for today's video, drop a like right now. We're going for 500 likes. And on top of that today, I'm going to show you the all-in investment. I'm not even joking. I put all of my coins into one card. So please pray for me because I really need this card to go up in price. Now, before we get into every single individual day on what we should buy and what we should sell, I want to talk about today, Saturday, which is a great day to start buying Team of the Week investments. Team of the Week 5 is on its way this week, and we've already had a lot of the games played because of the fact that it's international break. So the games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all these games are going to contribute to who gets into Team of the Week on Wednesday. And so we're going to take a look at all of these cards that could potentially get in, and we don't even have to wait till these cards go out of packs, because if we get in early enough, then these cards will just rise into the hype of them getting into Team of the Week, and we can sell right then. What's the most important thing in FC26 Ultimate Team? It's coins. And where can you get the cheapest coins? At Loot Bar. It's the cheapest and it's the safest coin trading platform on the entire market. It's 10% cheaper than all the other platforms. And if you use my code Nitro, they're going to give you an extra 8%. And if that's not enough percent, they're going to give you 5% more coins than what you even paid for. Loot Bar has quick delivery within a half an hour. Big creators use it, and it also has great reviews. Don't forget code Nitro at checkout. These graphics are coming from Leveled Up over on Twitter. You guys should go follow him. He does these Team of the Week predictions every single week, and here are some of them that you guys can get involved in, like the gold versions of Zielinski, Estevao, and Rodrigo, who I have packed 3 times untradeable so far this year. He's actually on his way up right now because of those links to Arda Güler. So you mix the fact that he might be going out of packs this upcoming week and the fact that he's going up because of the links to Arda Güler's SBC. That Rodrigo gold card could be a good shout right there. Next up, you have Aubameyang. 4 goals for Gabon. He did get sent off, though. Still a 9.8 rating. That's got to be one of the best performances with a red card we've ever seen. Then we've got Agbadou, who's already up in price a lot right now. That card, that's going to be a very good card to make coins with, but it is so risky because if you take a look at Agbadou on the market right now, he's actually one of the most popular cards in the game right now. He's right there, and he goes for 5,000 coins. That's because of a new evolution that makes him much better, and given the fact that he is Premier League and center back with good stats already, that's why he's up in price. Be careful. Don't buy him for 5K. Then we've got Nicholas Jackson, believe it or not. 1 goal and 1 assist for Senegal. Up next, we have Jean-Jacques right there with a goal. Then we've got William Troost, Ekong, and Elias Saad. All these guys right there, silver cards, bronze cards. So those are cards that would go up in price. I don't really touch the silvers and bronze cards, and I especially don't now that I got my main account like suspended from the transfer market. So I just really urge you guys to be careful with trading with those kind of cards. You're safe to make a few thousand coins, but if those cards go from 200 coins to 6K, then you're playing with fire at that point. Then you've got Landenberger, Joshua Kimmich, and Hume. So Kimmich with the 10.0 rating, that could be a really good investment. It's all about being patient with these cards and waiting for the hype to build as Team of the Week gets closer. Now, obviously, the better they've performed, the more likely they are to be in those Team of the Week predictions and Team of the Week itself, which would be what brings those prices up. Now let's move on to Sunday. On Sunday, you have Squad Battle Rewards and the end of FUT Champions. Let's take a look at Squad Battle Rewards because this year, you actually get more tradable supply, more cards that are hitting the transfer market on Squad Battles than Division Rivals. And that sounds crazy, but it is true. And the fact that even Silver 1, which the top 50% of Squad Battle players, not the top 50 of all players, but if you play Squad Battles, all you have to do is play like 5 or 6 matches, you're going to get to Silver 1, and it gives you a 9x75 rare gold players pack. That's almost a 50K pack right there. That's hitting the market all at the same time. Everybody gets their rewards at the same time for Squad Battles, whereas for FUT Champs, it's kind of spread out throughout the weekend. So with that being said, the higher you go, the more rewards you get. Like Gold 1 gives you a 12 times 75 plus rare gold players pack. That is a 50K pack, and you get coins added into the game, which actually helps the market recover later in the day. But Squad Battle Rewards hits the market right in the morning. I think it's at like 3 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. in the UK time. And if you live in Tanzania, I believe it's 10 a.m., but you might have to double check me on that. Either way, we've got to take a look at some of the prices over the course of the last couple of weeks on Sunday during Squad Battle Rewards, because take a look at this. Marmoush, who is one of the most used cards in the game, I believe it's the second most used card in the game behind Balde. This card going into Squad Battle Rewards went from 21,000 coins all the way down to 15K. Now, after Squad Battle Rewards, that card recovered from 15K all the way to 19K in just the next 24 hours. So if you had bought your Weekend League team on Friday, you're spending 25K, and the rewards you get from Weekend League aren't really worth losing this many coins on your team between Friday and Sunday. So you should be buying your team on Sunday and then having those cards rise in price for the next 24 hours, get your Weekend League rewards, take your profit on these cards, and if you're just investing in metas at all, that is the time to do so. It pretty much works for every single card that is meta and in packs. Like Lacroix, who was sitting at like maybe 14K throughout the weekend. He peaked at 17, but like 14K, 13K. Going to Squad Battle Rewards, he goes from 14K all the way down to 9,000 coins, but then in the next 24 hours, spikes back up to 12,000 coins. Hugo Ekitike, this is a card that I wish I would have bought sooner, because this would have been the time to buy it. He goes from 7,000 coins all the way down to 3.8. And then he recovers all the way back up to 5,000 coins in just the next 24 hours. Now, I actually ended up buying a lot of these Hugo Ekitike cards over the course of the next couple of days, because we did expect him to get into the ratings reload team, and we talked about him a lot in the last video on this channel. I actually sold these Hugo Ekitikes right here for about 7,000 to 8,000 coins into the hype, but then I went out and I went all in on Hugo Ekitikes with a Hunter card for 6.3 thousand coins. Just an out-of-pack investment right there that I thought I'd bring up right now because we're talking about Ekitike. A bunch of these that I got for 6.3 to 6.5 thousand coins. And I hope he goes up in price. There's no guarantee, but given the fact that he is one of the most used cards in the game and he's out of packs for the next 6 days, I'm feeling okay about it. And we got them with those Hunter cards on them as well. But now let's head in to Monday. On Monday, for the most part, the market is still kind of low. You can get involved in fodder cards for pretty low prices, and some of the meta cards that we haven't bought yet on Saturday and Sunday might still be low on Monday, but they should be slightly going up in price. But as you can see over the last 7 days, Monday was the lowest out of every single day for the overall market. It's mostly a hold day. You're still holding investments from Team of the Week that you bought on Friday and Saturday. You're still holding investments from Squad Battle Rewards that you bought on Sunday. You're just waiting for that big sell day that is inevitably coming soon. But what I do like to do on Monday is start really investing in cards that haven't been released to SBCs yet. Every single week, we get the leaked SBCs that are coming over the course of the next 7 days on like the Thursday before the promo begins. And so you know that you're going to get Haaland, Kane, Mateta, Goulet, Agurd, Doof, Bakayoko, Paredes, Matthias Sul. And so we've already gotten 2 of those SBCs, and then Arda Goulet came out, and by the time Monday comes around, we might already have a couple more of these SBCs, but we're not sure exactly which every single day. But by Monday, we know which ones are left, so maybe the last one would be Mateta. Maybe we know that it's on the way. We can invest in things that hyperlink to Mateta, and one card that obviously links to Mateta would be Lacroix. Now, this is obviously just an example that would work this week in that specific scenario where Mateta doesn't drop as an SBC until later in the week, but that's the idea that you should use for every Monday. If that SBC got leaked 6 days ago, but it hasn't been released yet, you know it's coming on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. It's not a long hold, so if you haven't used all of your coins as investments yet, those complement links are great investments to make on Mondays. Now we're moving on to Tuesday. On Tuesdays, I like to call this sell day because it's normally a very healthy market every single week. And this is kind of how it was in previous years as well. But you look at the last 7 days, Tuesday was obviously the day to sell for the overall market. But if you take a look at individual cards like Eduardo Camavinga, who is a top 5 most used cards in the game. This card on Tuesday, September 30th, went from 23,000 coins, which would have been the peak of selling. If you sold really any time that Tuesday, it would have been good because you could have bought during Squad Battle Rewards at 19K and sold for 22 to 23. But then when we went into Wednesday, that card ended up crashing down in price. However, the next week, Tuesday, again was a great time to sell because you could have bought at 14K during Squad Battle Rewards, sold on Tuesday for about 19,000 coins, so 14K to 19K. But then on Wednesday, he didn't crash this time around. Wednesdays, they're unpredictable. I don't like to go into Wednesdays with cards in my transfer list or my team. Instead, I have sold on Tuesday, and that card really didn't rise that much more on Wednesday this week. But why does that happen? Well, let's go ahead and move on to Wednesday right now. Wednesday is Upgrade SBC Day. The first big Upgrade SBC that we got was this Max 86 Base Hero upgrade. We actually got that released 2 weeks ago. I believe it was October 1st. Yes, October 1st was when this came out and the market crashed. Here's why. People will go out and they will buy fodder cards because it's a little bit tougher to get fodder to complete entire SBCs in FC26 as the last couple of years. You'll have to go out and buy fodder cards. That means selling meta players to afford fodder. They buy the fodder off the market, and now they don't have as much buying power. They can't go back out and buy those meta cards. On top of that, whoever they pack out of this base hero, whether it's like a striker or a center back, they'll often sell a striker or center back that's already in their team. So it's like a double whammy of taking coins out of the game and making the cards go down in price. Now, oftentimes this will make the market crash, but sometimes it's just not as hyped up. Like the second time that this was released, because it's been released twice now, it really wasn't as hyped up, and so the market didn't crash the second time around. But what if next week they dropped an icon upgrade? Well, I think the market would probably crash again. Now, we don't have any leaks for that for this upcoming Wednesday quite yet, but it's something to be aware of. But also, it's also a great time to sell fodder cards if they've gone up in price. When you take a look at some of the fodder cards that went up this week, it's oftentimes 87 rated because of the fact that that SBC specifically targeted those 87s. And so we saw these 87s in the last 2 weeks have 2 different spikes. First one was the first time this SBC came out. It went from 7,000 coins on early Wednesday. And then by the end of Wednesday, early Thursday, he was 12,000 coins. Then the next week, you can see early Wednesday, it was 9,800 coins. By the end of Wednesday, it was 12,000 coins. So you could also call Wednesday fodder card day, and that could be a good way to make coins on Wednesdays as well. Now let's move on to Thursday. On Thursday, you could buy the same card 3 different times at a low point and sell it at a high point and make profit. It is such a great day to make coins. And the first reason is because of Division Rivals rewards. Now, Division Rival rewards, they're not as impactful in this year as previous years, but do understand EA Sports are going to upgrade these Division Rival rewards as time goes on. Maybe they get a lot better, but they're still not useless even at their current state because you do get a tradable player pick and you get coins every single time you complete the upgraded reward, which a lot of people do. And whenever coins are added into the game, it injects the market and makes it inflate. Now, you also have that brief period where people who are maybe packing something decent out of those 1 of 3 80+ player picks will also be listing cards onto the market. So there's a good opportunity to maybe buy cards and then sell them before marquee matchups, which is the next opportunity to buy cards on Thursdays, because marquee matchups is even more influential on adding supply into the game, because marquee matchups is a challenge SBC every single week that adds a bunch of tradable packs into the game, which is awesome that they are still tradable and EA Sports haven't ruined marquee matchups yet. They aren't the greatest packs at the current moment, but they're enough to really impact the market. Because if you take a look at a Hugo Ekitike, which I know we showed earlier, take a look at what he did yesterday at marquee matchups. You can see that on Thursday at Division Rival rewards, this card went from 6.5 down to like 6.3. Nothing crazy, but the coins and the injection into the market actually made that card go from 6.3 all the way to 6.7. But marquee matchups added another very good opportunity to buy, because even though that card went to 6.9 or 7,000 coins before marquee matchups, once marquee matchups came out, they're back down to 6.2. So you could have bought sold, and then bought again here at Marquee Matchups, which is exactly what I did yesterday. I picked these cards up for about 6.3 thousand coins with Hunter cards. And then what I did, and the reason I chose Ekatike was because this Ekatike was going out of packs on the Friday for Ratings Reload. He was in this promo team right here, which meant that that gold card was going to go out of packs, and he's probably going to get hyped up, which is exactly what happened. You take a look at that 14-day graph, or just the hourly graph for yesterday, you can see that this card went from 6.2 all the way to 7.3. I was able to sell for like 8,000 coins with that Hunter card applied to it. And then once the actual promo dropped, there's a lot of dumb people out there that'll just panic sell, even though he's not in packs. And there's a lot of impatient people as well. So I sold and then bought back again on the Ekatike when the actual promo came out. And you can see he's starting to rebound as we speak. And hopefully that card will continue to go up over the course of the next 6 days, because that is the investment that I've decided to go on this week. But that is the idea behind investments on Thursdays. Now, let's move on to the final day, which is Promo Day Friday. Promo Friday is absolute chaos because there's so much going on. New SBCs, sometimes there's Player of the Month, and of course, there is that new promo every single Friday. And right now it's Ratings Reload, but of course, by the time you're watching this, maybe it's something else. However, what I like to do is I go into Friday mostly liquid. Maybe I have some investments in out-of-pack cards, like Team of the Week gold cards that were in the Team of the Week that dropped on Wednesday. But other than that, I really don't like holding any cards into this day, because even if they're out of packs, people will panic sell, as we saw with that Ekatike. So I like to be liquid on Friday. I'm getting ready to invest my coins later in the weekend, but in the meantime, I do what's called Friday flipping, which is going out and finding these cards that are just released a couple hours ago and seeing if I can time their low point. If you take a look at Talvin right here, he already gave us an opportunity to make coins because he went from 30K all the way to actually 38,000 coins, and now he's going back down in price. He's at 22,000, 23,000 coins. There's going to be a time tonight where that card bounces back up, maybe another 20, 25, 30, sometimes even more in terms of percent of a rise, just because those cards get rare into the night. People who opened their promo packs or saved their packs for the promo have opened them earlier in the day. Most people haven't finished Weekend League yet, and these cards have only been in packs for a short few hours. So that means that these cards get rare into the night, and a lot of times it's a great opportunity to make coins. Over the course of the last couple of weeks, especially Cornerstone's Team 1, it was spectacular, but even Cornerstone's Team 2, if you take a look at some of the cards over the course of that first 24 hours, so we've got to look back all the way to that Friday, take a look at this ball day right here. And I know it says Saturday, but this is still technically Friday night, especially in my time zone, which is Eastern Standard Time. But I guess you could call this Saturday morning as well if you live in like the UK. It's 1 a.m. UK right there was when ball day hit his low point. But then as we went into the morning for the UK at about 10 a.m. UK, that card spiked to 420,000 coins. So buying that card right there and selling right there, you would have made 40K profit after tax on every single one of those cards. And honestly, that's a pretty mild version of it. A lot of times those cards will rise even more. And right now, because I am on a new account, I'm not really actively trading with those Friday flips. I might get involved with that Talvin because I have just enough coins for that. But other than that, I am going to be absolutely targeting these Friday flips from here on out once I actually make it to the budget that I can actually invest in and trade with those cards. I don't quite have the budget quite yet. But that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like right now. I think that this has been one of the best videos on our channel, but I am, of course, biased. So let me know what you think down below. And of course, if you want more trades and investments, I suggest you guys get involved with FutPeppy's live trading service, because what it does is sends you trades straight to your phone from the #1 trader of all time, which is, I know it's a surprise, not me. It is FutPeppy. So he's going to help you trade and make coins, and you can get involved for €5 for a 2-week trial. The link is in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.